and welcome to Mazona Stoves. I'm Kirsty and today I'm going to show you how to replace the vermiculite bricks that you'll find in your stove chamber. This is the Glencara 8 kilowatt, and if I open the door you can see that you've got a side brick on either side of the stove, you've got your back brick, and you've also got your baffle brick. What these bricks do is help improve the efficiency of the stove. They act as an insulator to help reflect the heat produced back into the stove chamber, and this means that you'll get a cleaner burn and less particulate emissions will be released into the atmosphere. Secondary to this, they also act as a barrier between the stove chamber and your stove body, and this means that the stove will last longer. The bricks are consumable products, so they're not covered under warranty, and over time they will erode and begin to crumble. If you see a crack in your brick, which might be caused from banging a log against one of them, this is fine. You can still use your brick. It's only if they start to really shrink in size over time or erode and crumble into the fire. So now that I'm ready to take the bricks out of the stove, what I'll need to do first is remove some of the things that are in my way. So I'll start with the grate bar, and to lift this out, I just put it at an angle and it comes out straight away. Ash pan, you can just pull forward. It might catch on the riddle bar, and what you need to do is just sort of angle it up a little bit as you pull it out, like that. So to take the centre bottom grate out, what I'm going to do is I'll put my hand underneath and push it up from the back, and once I've got it in my hand I can pull this riddle bar where it's just hooked in there out, and that's what frees that. So the next thing I need to remove is the grate, and again just angle it up, and then that gives you enough space to get it out. So now I'm onto the bricks. So I always remove the right hand side one first, and all I do is the baffle brick's here, and if it's resting on the side bricks, so if I push it up at one side I can feel that's taken the weight off of this. And also down here where the grate bar was, there's a little notch in the brick, and that just makes it easy for me to be able to lift it out. So if I lift the baffle brick and then lift, that one just falls out like that. So to get the baffle brick out, what I'll do is I'll use my right hand to support where the side brick no longer is, and then with my other hand I'll just lift the baffle brick forward and let it drop down on that right hand side. I can now take out the other side brick very easily because there's so much space. And in this stove you'll see that there's two bolts holding in place the back brick. This isn't the case in all of our stoves, but in this one it is. So what I've got is a little wrench, and I can just loosen them bolts at the back. And once they're out, I can then remove the back brick like that. So once you've got everything out of the stove and you're ready to replace your parts, you put everything back into the stove, basically what we need to do is reverse the steps. So I'll start with my back brick, which is here. And it is attached again with the little bolts. So next I can start putting in the side bricks. You'll notice that there's the little notch here, which is what I used to take the brick out, and you've also got your door notch. And so what you want to do is you want to put them in at an angle. Next I can do my baffle. So exactly the same as the way we took it out, you want to angle it up. So that's it. It's now resting on the left hand side brick, and it is also resting against there at the top. So I know it's in place. So next, this is my right hand side brick, again with my notch. I'm going to put that at the front. What I'll do is I'll put it lined up so it's in place, and I tend to set it along the back so I know that it's at the right height. And then what I'll do is I will use my right hand to lift the baffle brick up a little bit so I've got enough space, and then just push and slide that in. Next, I'm going to bring my riddle control back to the center and lift my grate. I'm just going to go in at an angle. And then my center bottom grate, this is where the riddle bar is going to attach onto, so I'm going to put that towards the front and set it in at an angle so that I can see where I need to attach that riddle bar to. There we go. And lastly, I've got my grate bar. So if you're like me, and what I've done here is I've put this brick in, but there's a gap at the back and there's not one at the front, and I really need it to be at the front so that the grate bar can slot in. So instead of having to take the whole grate back out to fix this, what I can do is, if I lift the grate bar at an angle, underneath I can still see this little notch in the brick, and what I can do is just use my finger to just shimmy that back. So you can fix these issues if you do them. They're very easy mistakes to make. And then you've got your grate bar at an angle, and it now has the space to slot in. And lastly, I've got my ash pan, which I can just put in like that, and there we go. I hope this video has been helpful. If you do need to buy spares such as the bricks, you can find them at your local retailer. If you're struggling to find your retailer, go to mazonastoves.com and we have them all listed there. If you also have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know and we can make those. Thank you.